June 2025, Wall Street hits new highs, but the dollar teeters on the edge. In recent weeks, North America's financial and trade landscape has begun to shift rapidly, and while American investors are clapping at new highs on Wall Street, a storm is brewing beneath the surface, one that could forever reshape the region's economic landscape. So, what's really happening? Let's break it down in today's video, and trust us, this story won't leave you indifferent. June 27, 2025, Wall Street parties while the dollar slips. On June 27, 2025, U.S. stock indices surged like fireworks. The S&P 500 jumped 0.9%, and the Nasdaq rose a healthy 1.1%. It might seem like a moment to pop champagne, but as investors raise their glasses, the dollar is tumbling to a 3.5-year low. The DXY index has fallen to 102.9. That's more than just a number. According to Reuters, traders now estimate a 72% chance that the Federal Reserve will cut rates as early as September. It's like a party on the dance floor while cracks form in the ceiling above. A weakening dollar threatens global trust in the U.S. currency as a reserve standard. If allies and trade partners lose faith in the dollar, it won't just be a crack in the system, it'll be a breach. Canada strikes back. New laws to accelerate megaprojects. On June 26, 2025, Canada launched what may one day be seen as a rocket-like move. The Senate in Ottawa passed a bill drastically shortening the approval time for major infrastructure and resource projects. According to the Ministry of Natural Resources, this could add up to $15 billion to Canada's exports over the next 5 years. While neighbors argue over tariffs, Canadians are busy planning new mines and pipelines. June 2025, Canada's banking regulator strengthens the financial backbone. On the same day, June 26, Canada's financial regulator OSFI announced that the nation's largest banks must maintain a Tier 1 capital ratio between 11% and 12%. This financial buffer acts as a life vest for the system during global storms. Canadians understand. In an unstable world, a robust banking sector isn't just about balance sheets, it's about peace of mind for millions of people and businesses. Steel and aluminum, Canada defends its industrial heroes. On June 27, 2025, Canada's Ministry of Finance introduced new measures to protect domestic steel and aluminum producers. These steps aim to safeguard 43,000 jobs and prevent U.S. tariffs from gutting the country's industrial core. Meanwhile, on June 29, Donald Trump told Fox News that trade talks with Canada are halted until certain taxes on U.S. goods are lifted. So much for friendly relations. Shock move. Canada shuts down China's Hikvision. On June 28, 2025, Canada sent shockwaves through the market. Authorities ordered Chinese company Hikvision to cease operations in the country, citing national security concerns. While over 100 employees will be affected, the bigger message is clear: Ottawa is willing to defend its interests even at the cost of a confrontation with Beijing. This is no soft diplomacy, it's decisive action. Canadian real estate. Confidence shaken by trade wars. On June 26, the Canadian Real Estate Association reported a 2% drop in home prices between May and June 2025. On June 27, Bloomberg warned that if U.S. tariff pressure continues, prices could fall by 4 to 5% by year's end. When tariff talk turns into fewer homebuyers, it's a red flag for the economy. Euro-Canada, a new bridge across the Atlantic. On June 23, 2025, Canada and the European Union signed a historic security and cooperation pact, strengthening ties in cybersecurity, defense, and trade. Bloomberg notes that direct EU investment in Canada already exceeds $20 billion annually, and it's expected to grow further. It's like opening a second faucet of capital, just as the first one starts to drip. June 2025, Canadians shun U.S. travel. On June 10th, Bloomberg published striking data: the number of Canadians crossing the border into the U.S. by car has dropped 38% year over year. People are wary of instability, high prices, and political risk. What used to feel like a casual trip to the cottage now feels more like a gamble with unpredictable rules. Canada's GDP forecast grows as tariff tensions ease. By the end of June 2025, Bloomberg analysts raised Canada's 2025 GDP growth forecast from 1.6% to 2.3%. The reason? U.S. tariff threats are easing, while deals with the EU and Mexico are opening new export markets. Translation: while Washington argues, Canadians are signing contracts and preparing for expansion. Conclusion: time to wake up. Today, We're witnessing a striking paradox. While U.S. stock markets hit record highs, the dollar weakens, and America's traditional allies are turning to Canada as a stable and trustworthy partner for trade and investment. Canada is acting swiftly and decisively, reinforcing its position in resources, industry, and finance. The key question for the U.S. is this: do its leaders realize that in a world changing at lightning speed, even longtime friends may walk away? And are they ready to rethink their trade strategies before their influence erodes completely? Because in a world where red maple leaf containers are arriving more often and American goods are gathering dust on warehouse shelves, one thing is clear: the time to act was yesterday. Is Canada becoming the new center of gravity? As U.S. influence wanes, Canada, calmly but confidently, is emerging as a new center of gravity on the North American continent. And it's not just about new investment flows or megaprojects getting approved 3 times faster. It's about something deeper. Canada's strategy is focused on resilience, predictability, and multipolar cooperation. While Washington wrestles with inflation, plays geopolitical poker, and scares partners with tariffs, Ottawa is doing the things that actually deliver results: improving logistics with Europe, strengthening domestic financial systems, and attracting capital seeking calm in the storm. Make no mistake, Canada is no longer just the quiet northern neighbor, it's a proactive player. Oil, gas, rare earths, Ottawa's resource trump card. Canada remains one of the few reliable suppliers of critical resources essential for the global energy transition. As the West cuts reliance on unstable regions, Canada, with its vast deposits of rare earths, oil, and natural gas, becomes the center of attention. New mining projects, fast-tracked by regulatory reforms, could position Canada as a top supplier of lithium and cobalt over the next decade. This isn't just an economic story, it's a matter of global supply chain security. Europe, Japan, and South Korea now look to Canada as a dependable alternative to China. Political maturity, Canada's new advantage. Canada's political approach deserves special attention. While many Western nations are caught in polarizing battles that erode public trust, Canadian leaders show rare consensus on core issues like security, investment, industrial protection, and foreign policy. The forced closure of Hikvision, for example, isn't just a tough diplomatic move. It's a signal that Ottawa is ready to make uncomfortable but necessary decisions, and that earns respect from both partners and investors. If you thought Canada was just a background character in U.S.-centric headlines, rewatch this episode, because we may be witnessing the rise of a new regional leader. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Do you think Canada can maintain its momentum? And could we see a shift in North American leadership within the next 10 years? Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next episode, and remember, not everything that matters makes the front page.